Hello, everyone, and welcome to BACI Blessed, where we uplift stories, reconnect with purpose, and gather in authenticity. I'm your host, Aleesha Savanh.
And I'm Chasity Briones.
And today we are talking about discovering challenges through life and the spiral of evolution. If you are living a life here on Earth, as you go throughout your life, you run into different obstacles, challenges, lessons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those challenges come back in life over and over and over again until we learn our lesson. Do you notice when a challenge is coming back?
I guess life really likes to see if you're gonna redo the stuff again or make better surgery.
It's kind of like checking if you learned your lesson, if you're the same
Yeah.
person that you were before.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you learned you're a different person and you're gonna react differently.
Yeah. People like don't react differently. They're still the same. And that's why they get again.
The cycle.
Yeah. And it's just an endless cycle until you learn how to
Mm. But once you do change that, it's not a cycle anymore. It's a spiral. This is what I mean by the spiral. It's like you come to that lesson again,
Yeah.
and then same choice. You make a different choice, then you can move up, or you make a worse choice, you can move
Back down.
back down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the spiral. It'll keep coming back, but it's not a loop because you can keep going.
Yeah.
How do you recognize when you're revisiting the same lesson again, but at a higher level?
For me, it would have to be when I finally realized like my worth and realized that's not what I want. And when I finally put myself first, I put my feelings first.
I think a big part of the change in a person happens with awareness of your own thoughts and your own values. So for you, the value you realized was, I value myself. So realizing that value, you change your decision. Or like realizing a pattern. Say it's a toxic relationship, someone's like, I always take them back.
Yeah.
If you realize that pattern, realizing and awareness is what helps you break that loop.
Yeah. And it's, you only go higher from there because then you pour more into yourself and you love into yourself and put more love into yourself. And that's when it just gets better. You only go higher from there. Like, there's no going back down at that point. You don't go back into like the same old relationship.
Hopefully, when the lesson comes back again.
Yes.
Because you know what? Even after you decide to break that, the universe will bring it back one more time to check.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you learned?
Spice up your life a little bit real quick and see if you're still not so bad.
Or if you really learned your
Yeah.
lesson. There's like 3 things we can kind of do when the challenge comes. Is pause, pivot, or press on. So that's either like stop, maybe repeat it. Pivot is to change course. And then press on. I think that would also be like kind of sticking with how you were before.
Like staying stuck in over.
Yeah, press on, like I'd say continue the way it was. But pausing.
Or it could also mean like press on onto games that
It could.
it could mean like that.
Press on in your own personal evolution. Yeah. That is one of the number one things we have to do as like people who keep waking up every day.
Even when it's hard.
Keep going.
Yeah. Life stops for nobody, so why should you stop?
Cannot.
No. You accept it, process it, deal with it, give yourself a couple days, hours, maybe a week at most, and that's it.
I think that's the pause. When you give yourself that couple of days, it's like maybe I don't need to make the decision right away. Take some time to choose to press on as you were or to pivot and change course.
Yeah.
Having an awareness of this choice that we have, this free will, there's options. You don't have to keep repeating the same cycle.
Yeah. You can always, as you always say, you can always close one door and open many, or close one door and stay shut.
Say you were to pause, you have this big life-changing decision and you pause, take the time to really think about what's best for you, and then you close the door and stay inside, stay in that way, or you leave through that door, make the choice to change your life, and see how many opportunities open up in front of you. What is it? Timeline. Friendship, relationships, friendship, job opportunities, like all of that stuff opens up when you decide to not stay in your old way. Because no new things come to the old you. You have to be a new you.
It's gonna be like really, really scary, but that's the one thing life throws at you until you tell yourself you just press on.
Press on even when you are scared. That's a big thing too. It's like risk to reward.
Yes.
So if you could choose to stay exactly how you were before or in that space you were before, and that's safe and that's predictable because you've already been doing this like over and over again. But once you take that leap and be brave through the fear, then life opens up to you too.
You can be good. You can be feeling all the emotions that come with it. It's gonna be scaring you. It's gonna feel like you have no village anymore or whatever. It's gonna scare you. But then it's also gonna open up to uh seeing how everybody reacts. If they want what's best for you, then you're gonna see like it's gonna bring out all the different to react like differently and not like for you, then that life's way of cutting people off and making you finally open your eyes to see who's good and who's bad, and who wants the best for you and who's putting down there.
When you choose a new path, you become a new you. And some people will not like that you are new. And most people who react negatively to the new you are the people who benefited from you being that old version of you. Say you were a people pleaser and everything you do was to make other people happy and at the cost of your own energy and your own happiness. Then the moment you start making that decision of your value for yourself, your love for yourself, then you become somebody who loves themselves, has boundaries, and then people who don't like it are gonna show themselves to you.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people are gonna switch up.
So what also happens when you're authentic is people who are meant to be in your life are drawn to you. Because how are the new people or the people meant to be in your life going to find you if you aren't being that new version of yourself? From my own experience, when I started being more true to myself, more confident, and setting more boundaries, I met Chas. Because we're more aligned with our likes and hobbies.
When I started realizing my worth, I started stepping out of my shell a little bit. I went, oh, photography that we both like.
I'm modeling. Tell me how rare it is, though, for you to find somebody who's both a photographer and model like you. Lucky us. But it's almost not luck because we chose to be more authentic. So we found each other. Along with being able to make those decisions comes with the discomfort that you feel when it's one of those times to make a decision, right? Oh my God. Can you talk to me a little bit about like the discomfort you feel when you realize a big decision is gonna happen?
Dude, the way I freaking like cried all the tears I could until I couldn't after feeling that discomfort and not having reassurance and not knowing what's in the future because I'm an overthinker and I'm a planner and I need to know what's in my future. Even to this day sometimes I will still think about it. I'll still look back and think about it. And then I come back to myself and I think of what am I feeling right now versus how I felt then. And what I'm feeling right now weighs more than what I felt then. And it's worth more than what I felt then. Which makes me reassure myself a little bit on my decision.
So in the moment, right, we're facing the decision. There's fear, discomfort, sometimes excitement too, you know? Pain, definitely pain if it's like a relationship or like leaving a job, leaving a place, leaving a home. It's pain, fear. But then like I said, the excitement of what might come when you make this big decision.
Yeah.
And then you make that decision and you're talking about comparing it to your old so is there relief? Sometimes there's regrets, like we're not always gonna make the right decision.
You learn from it and you just who go have a lesson and bring it with you throughout life. If it wasn't a bad thing, you can always learn from it. Focus on yourself for just a couple months, years, and then go back. That is.
Like we said, the lesson will come back.
Yep.
And say you make that bad decision, I think that it's okay that we can make bad choices. Maybe not like if it hurts you or someone else, but I talked about this in Haley's interview. If you guys saw that, it's either a win or a lesson if you try something new.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you fail, you learn something more about yourself, about your values.
That's all.
You win.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. And you gain so much more from it.
Mm-hmm. So if you're feeling stuck, try something different.
Mm-hmm.
And take that risk because you can get the reward of either making that right choice or learning a lesson, and you'll make a better choice. This is all just one big lesson.
Oh yeah, life is just one big lesson. Even people who, let's say they're in the East, they're still learning. This is their, they only live one. Or like we all only live one. And we're all still learning life.
Give each other grace.
Yes.
Remember, it's our first try at this all together.
You gotta learn that for yourself sometimes too. And you pass that knowledge on. Well, it's scary.
It's scary. We all feel those feelings.
Yeah.
Nobody is immune to fear, immune to lessons. It's so cute though that our lives on Earth are tailored to us. Each person gets the challenges meant for them.
Oh,
you know what I'm
I've
trying
never
to say?
thought about it like
Yeah,
that.
each person has their own lessons, and you see somebody going through a totally different struggle than yours, but that's the one meant for them. Kind of crazy.
Because there's always someone struggling. Even if they look like they're doing good, there's always someone struggling. But it's just like, you felt like always the people who are really the housing type. Well, it's for a home.
That's a topic that's actually one that turns people off from like Buddhism because we talk about karma.
Yeah.
So then like it's like, oh, do I deserve this lesson?
Yeah.
And it's not a matter of deserving. It's hard to explain because I don't want to say like, oh, say somebody gets in an accident, they deserve that. It's not like that. Everybody has their own individual lessons, but also everyone has their own experiences, which is a valuable thing, right?
Which makes them who they are.
Yes.
And it's what makes their personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And their own wisdom.
Yeah.
So then, like you were saying, somebody has their whole life, they experience all kinds of stuff, and they can teach that to somebody who doesn't have to experience it.
Always share your wisdom when you can.
That's a hard one though for me. I've had the experience of wanting to share what I've learned with other people, and there's also the fact that not like because lessons are meant for you, sometimes they're not meant for other people.
Yeah.
And I've gone through experiences where I've tried to share what I've learned and what's worked for me, and someone just doesn't want to hear it.
Let's take for an example. I'm in a relationship and you're trying to give me, or I'm in a toxic relationship and you're trying to give me advice on what's not toxic, what to do, how to get out, or what like path I could, like what route I could stuff. And I don't take it.
But in that situation, say I was the one giving the advice, what I would realize, I would think this person I'm trying to help isn't ready for it or doesn't want it. So it's not going to apply to them. You know, that's their choice.
They don't want it. They're scared because they don't know what's going to go on for them in the future. And that's why you have to risk it. Risk it for the biscuit.
Are you going to risk it?
Yeah.
But all you can do at that point is know that you tried and
don't beat yourself up for it.
You did your best and let that person live how they want to live.
Yeah.
You can't convince somebody anything.
And it could take a toll. So on the person giving it. I'm giving you my best advice I could give. In my experience, I've cut off that because it wasn't sitting right my mental health. It was draining my, no matter what, I will always be there for somebody, but at that time and stage that you're in, and if you're not showing me that you actually want to change, and if you actually want to really make take advice, you're not gonna show me like any action or whatever. I'm dipping it. I can't stick around and wait for you to want to do it.
You can want the best for someone,
Yeah.
but if they don't want the best for themselves,
Yeah.
gotta leave them to it. I mean, I don't know everything. Like,
Yeah.
say we're the person giving advice. Maybe you're wrong. You know, you could be wrong, and that's okay. Just do your best with your friends. And like you said, like loyalty is important. If they were to show that they cared or valued your opinion and tried it maybe, or
try something.
Yeah, try something different. Like what we were saying, like try to break the pattern.
Yeah.
If you keep coming back with the same
It doesn't
pattern,
have to be like the whole, like you don't have to take my whole advice, but just one little thing.
yeah, like what if the tiny advice is something needs to change? Like something's not right here.
Yeah, like damn, go journal or something. Like
Yeah.
that's a start.
Moral of the story is to try new things. Recognize when a challenge is in front of you. You can take a pause to make that decision. Recognize the feelings you're feeling. And, make that decision, compare it back to how you were feeling before. We touched on how when you're authentic, it opens up new doors. It attracts the people that belong in your life. It also makes you realize who might not still belong in your life. We're all going through our own personal challenges. And and nobody's alone in that.
Yeah.
Not a single person knows exactly what to do every time.
If everybody's first time in life, always remember that. It's only yourself for.
You have grace for others and yourself. Yeah. That's all we have for today. I'm Aleesha Savanh. And we will see you on the next episode of BACI Blessed. Bye.